Hey, so I am writing an autobiography. Why am I doing that? Okay, let me give you a quick synopsis of my story. So, Moses here, Moses Kabandana. I was born in Rwanda, 1994, right before the Rwandese genocide. And so, for a really long time, I didn't even know anything about my home country because I was simply born there. And then the genocide started. So, my family became a refugee for the next 2 decades, basically. That's a long story. And so, but that's not what led me to want to write an autobiography. What led me to want to write an autobiography is because I noticed that I don't know my own story, not to the extent that I should, at the very least. And so I was like, man, there is many of us that are in the same boat, independently of our history, independently of who we are, where we come from, and what our circumstances are. Many of us just don't tell our own stories, even to ourselves. And that was like, man, that's kind of nuts. So let me write an autobiography, a story of my own, at the very least to myself, or for legacy purposes. And hopefully, and this might end up being like a mission of mine of sorts, is to push other individuals to telling their own stories, even if it's just to themselves, right? So, step zero in this autobiography writing endeavor was to sit down and try to write down every single memory that I can remember. And right now, I am 2 decades in as far as like memories go. And the more that I write, the more that I remember. It's kind of weird. It's like when I first started, I divided them into like year zero to year five, 5 to 10, 10, 15. I'm 30, by the way, if you couldn't tell. And so when I started, it was very difficult to get like four memories in, right? Maybe 10 memories in. And now I find myself 40, 50, 100 memories within a 5 year time span. So that's stage zero of writing this memoir. It's just me, Moses. What do I remember from my own first person account? And then, of course, we know memories are kind of trash for the vast majority, and especially if you're trying to tell your own story or trying to remember things that happened like 2 decades prior, right? And so I'm learning a lot about like how I process information. That's a whole different thing. But outside of this, like the next step is gonna be, what do other individuals that have known me throughout these different stages of my life, these 5 year increments, what do they remember about me? What do they remember about my memories of that time? So that's like stage two. And then stage three, I don't know, I'm not that far yet. The main point of this, of me making this video is to say, one, I'm writing an autobiography, not because, I'm some sort of like intellectual or like smart individual or anything like that. It's just, I wanna tell my own story to myself, at the very least for legacy purposes, just so I can leave something behind. But two, I noticed that I don't really know like deep who I am. So at the very least, let me try to get that straight. Yeah, I think about Simba when please don't kill me. Oh my goodness. What's Simba's dad's name? When he says, "Remember who you are," right? And I was like, well, how can I remember something that I haven't even taken the time to remember? Like, how can I know who I am without first and foremost remembering every single thing that I can at the very least? So, okay, that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to let the internet know, the world know, people know that I've embarked in this memoir writing endeavor. I'm writing my own memories, every single memory that I have, and I am now on between year 20 and year 25. Uh, there's a lot there, and so if you've thought about writing your own story, this might be what's the saying? The indication. This might be your call. Please write your own story. At the very least, learn to tell your own story to yourself for your own sake. Tell your own story because your story matters. Seriously, your story matters to you. It should matter to you. And the more that you tell your own story to yourself, I feel like the more of a holistic picture that you have of yourself. Because, for example, like I found that I found that some of the memories that I thought I had of my infancy weren't exactly that, because I was remembering things through the lens of, let's say, a 4-year old or a 5-year old, and now I can try to have to recall that memory through the lens of an adult, and it kind of changes things. And then now that I'm like the next stage, which is to interview the individuals that knew me at these different stages. I interviewed one guy that knew me, like knew my family situation at the time, at like between like age 0 and like 6, and that just talking to him, I was like, whoa, okay, okay, that helps connect so many points, and so, anyways, it's changing how I see my past to some extent, right? That's neither here nor there. I just wanted to let you know, if you've been feeling this little nudge to write your story, do it. Do it for your own sake, for the sake of your kids, if you're ever gonna have any, for the sake of legacy, for one reason or another, eh, or just for yourself. And that should be the big reason, for yourself. Remember who you are. Anyways, Moses here. That's been my 2 cents. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.